Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Eleanor and today I want to tell you about 8 books that I've read over the last year and a half that I really enjoyed, but I haven't yet got round to watching the film adaptation yet. I am personally really bad for watching films and TV. It's not something I really do very often. I just never think to watch a film when I have free time. I don't know, it's something I'd like to get better at because films are great and I do like watching them when I do sit down and actively watch one. So I'm making this video to hold myself accountable if when I come back in December and look at this and realise, oh, I've not actually watched as many of these films as I would like to. Hopefully it'll encourage me to actually give them a watch. So the first book on my list I read on ebook, so I don't have a physical copy, and that is 2001 A Space Odyssey by Arthur C. Clarke. I like Arthur C. Clarke. He's very imaginative in the way he writes science fiction, and because he's more of a classic writer, because he wrote them 100 years ago now probably, I don't know the exact dates. His glimpse into how he predicted what would happen in the future I just find really fun to read. I've read a few of his books and I really enjoyed 2001 Space Odyssey, and I would like to get to the film. I've heard it's more of a cinematic experience rather than a very deep story. It's very visual, it's very, I don't know, very immersive and not very plot based, and I don't think there's a lot of speaking in it actually, so it's very artistic in that sense. So I would like to get to that at some point because it is quite a classic film. And the next book on my list, again I read on ebook and I don't have a physical copy, and that was A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. Now this is a book that I actually really struggled to read at the time. I found it just hard to get into. The main character and his little band of friends, they have their own slang and their own language, which I actually found really difficult to read. It was like, I don't know, it was very disjointed, lots of new words that the author had just made up, and it was quite hard with context to work out what was going on sometimes, but it was a really interesting story. It was very clever, very much to do with psychology and psychopathy and how these things affect people, and people will go on and kill people and go crazy in the quickest sense to say. And because I struggled so much with the book, I did appreciate it, but I think it would probably be more helpful to maybe watch the film and to see it in that format and to hear this language that you made up, this slang, might be easier for me to digest. Because it is a classic film and I think it is one that everyone should probably watch at least once. So I'm hoping that in a new format it might be easier for me to actually consume it. So the next book on my list is World War Z by Max Brooks. I really like zombie books, I really like zombie films. I really enjoyed this. It's in a bit of a more unusual format. It's not a linear story. It doesn't follow one protagonist. It is like a kind of compendium of this time the apocalypse is happening, the zombie takeover is happening, and it jumps continually to story after story. Some are a page long, some are 10 pages long, and you just get a snippet of what happened with that person when they encountered zombies. And it was just a very whole world overview to how every different culture and every different person and every way of life was coping with the collapse of human society. And I know the film focuses on perhaps a couple of different viewpoints only and not the whole book, so I'm interested to seeing how that was developed and made into a film. And I believe part of the film, I don't know, I need to check, set in like a big square where there's a big horde of zombies comes over. It was actually shot in Glasgow, and I just think it would be fun to watch, and I love these kind of films, and I'm a bit annoyed at myself that I've not got around to watching it because I'm sure it's one I'll love. Following along from World War Z, the next book I want to talk about is The Girl with All the Gifts. This is again another story about another dystopian, another post-apocalyptic story about zombies and about human survival, and it's just a very interesting storyline. I've talked about this a few times on my channel already. I've got our actual full review on it that I'll leave linked down in the description for this and the kind of prequel book. I really recommend this series, and I really enjoyed it, and because I really enjoyed it, I should watch the film. I think that would be really fun, just to fun way just to kind of complete the consuming of this story, and I should get to it soon because it's not been out, it's only been out a couple of years I think, so I should get to it. And I've only recently finished it, so I'm not actually too delayed in watching the film, so it's one I should get off, so it's one I should tick off my list soon rather than later. And the next book is The Martian by Andy Weir. Now, I read this book and I absolutely loved it. I read it in probably like 2 sittings so quickly. I love the story, I love the humour, I love the characters. I really love science fiction, and I just thought it was a really unique take, and I really enjoyed the main character. I love this actor, Matt Damon, and that's no excuse. I should watch the film because I love the book and I love Matt Damon. I love lots of other films that he's been in, so I'm sure he's fantastic in this too, and I should get to it. And I have the film copy of the book, so I really have no excuse. So I should really get to this soon because I think it will be great. And I think the story lends itself to a film adaptation, just because again it's in another different format. It's not standard prose, it's log entries with the main character documenting what's happened each day as he's surviving stranded on Mars. So I would love to see that on screen, and I should get to it soon. I feel like I'm saying the same thing about all these I should get to it soon, and that's why I'm making this video, just to hold myself accountable to actually watching these at some point in 2020. And the next book is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Again, I wasn't sure if I was going to like this book going into it. I do like science fiction. I thought the premise was really interesting, but because it is so heavy on, I think, 80s pop culture, I thought a lot of it would go straight over my head because I'm a 90s child, early 2000s, so I thought I would miss a lot of the references, but I actually did find it very digestible. I didn't struggle over much. I thought a context really helped with understanding a lot of what was going on, and I just thought it was a really fun story, and I think the film will be great. The story really lends itself to film because it is set in a kind of virtual reality world with anyone being whatever, whoever they like. So I think that would really lend itself to being on film because they can really capture the imagery that is portrayed in this. So yeah, I would like to get to this quite soon. And the next book on my list is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. Now, Little Women is a story that I've loved since childhood. It is one of my favourite classics and I've reread it a few times. I have watched the BBC miniseries adaptation of Little Women that was out a couple of years ago and I absolutely loved it. I'm really intrigued to see the new film that's only been out a few weeks now, just because I know the director took it in a different route and formatted it slightly differently, so it's not told completely linear, and I just think that would be really interesting. I just love this story. It just reminds me so much of my childhood because I fell in love with this, and it's one of the first kind of classics that I actually really enjoyed and finished completing. So I would like to watch the new adaptation pretty soon because it's got some amazing actors and actresses in it that I love in other things, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching it at some point. And the last book on my list is a book that I've only very recently finished, and that is Warm Bodies by Isaac Asimov. This is again another zombie book that seems to be the theme for January this year, and it's actually a zombie romance, and I just think it would be really fun to see on screen. I really enjoyed the story. I thought it was really clever with how the zombies functioned and how the author made the zombies evolve and develop. Usually in zombie books, they're set in stone, that's the way they are, and it's more about humans adapting to the zombies. But in this case, it was a bit more of both. The zombies had to change and adapt to the new circumstance, and so did the humans, and I thought that was really well portrayed together in one book, and it's actually quite a short book. I love the characters. It was told in good humour. The romance was tasteful. I don't know how else to say that. So yeah, I think the film would be really fun, and I will hope to get to it soon, as I've said a million times. So that's the 8 books that I have on this list, and hopefully I will be able to come back to this video some point later in the year and be able to tell you that I have actually watched all of these films and tell you if I liked them or not, if I thought they were successful adaptations, or if I thought they were let down by a script, or let down by missing out vital parts of the book that I really hoped would be there. So yeah, let me know if you really like watching films of book adaptations, or if you're like me and sometimes you struggle because you really love the book so much and you're not sure how you would like a film adaptation. And let me know in the comments below some more books or films that you recommend that you think I should check out. So yeah, so please leave a comment and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!